welcome back to Nails Before Films. It's your favorite disgrace to society, here with another movie review. Last time, I reviewed Joker 2, link in the description and top right corner now. This time, I'm reviewing a much better clown movie. Well, better is a strong word, but I certainly had more fun watching it. I'm talking about Terrifier 3, which I finally caught in the theater. I reviewed Terrifier and Terrifier 2 last year, link in the description and top right corner now, and I'm a fan of the series. Sure, it's just a gore fest and there's nothing complicated about the story, but as a horror fan who loves excessive bloodiness, I absolutely love the dedication to gore in the Terrifier films. You can really feel the love for horror and practical effects, and it's amazing how far they've come since Art's first appearance in All Hallows Eve. Anyway, let's get into it. Terrifier 3 still follows the story of Sienna Shaw and expands upon the loose lore of Terrifier 2. It doesn't really explain some of the questions I had about Terrifier 2, like what the heck is a clown cafe, but it does explain the supernatural elements better. As I mentioned in my other review, I'm not a big fan of supernatural horror. It's my least favorite subgenre, but I understand why the franchise is going in this direction. From the first Terrifier, it suggests that there are mystical powers involved. Art freaking lives after shooting himself in the mouth. A franchise can only go so far with gore, so it makes sense to give the movies an overarching narrative. And a simple story of good versus evil, angel versus demon is fine for a franchise like Terrifier. I think the storytelling of Terrifier 3 is a step up from 2, which is already a huge improvement from the first. Don't get me wrong, I love Terrifier 2. It's amazing how much they improved the characters and story, but the movie felt slow at times. They fixed this in Terrifier 3, and the movie is much more well-paced. No scene feels overly long, and I was never bored. The runtime of Terrifier 2 was too long, so it's great that 3 is 13 minutes shorter, and the story is much tighter. However, because of how many people got killed in Terrifier 3, I think the murder scenes could be a bit shorter. I know, the gore is what people want, but multiple scenes feel overextended to me. Art kept going after the victims were dead, and I was like, oh, you're not done yet. They're dead, buddy. You can move on to the next victim now. I don't think this is a huge issue, and some people might appreciate the extended gory scenes, but the movie would be more efficient if they shave off a minute or two for some kills. There are still some things unexplained in Terrifier 3, like why did Art and Vicky hibernate for 5 years? We still don't know the connection between Sienna's dad and Art, where her magical sword came from, why she was chosen to be Art's adversary, and why the demon wants to possess her. But the movie does give us more compared to Terrifier 2, and obviously there will be a Terrifier 4, so maybe we'll get to know more in the next movie. Sienna is still a great heroine. Lauren Lavera still does a great job portraying her. You can see her struggling to get over the horrible events of Terrifier 2, blaming herself for the death of her friends, and dealing with being a celebrity in the worst way. It adds so much depth to her character. We feel happy for her when she gets to live like a normal person, even if it's just a short while. And it's sad when she loses everyone she loves again. For the most part, you know who's going to die because it's expected for a movie like this. Some people are just asking for it, like the true crime podcast girl. However, it isn't exactly satisfying to see her die. Although she was obnoxious and insensitive, at least she defended Sienna on her podcast. No one in the film is that big of an asshole that you feel good riddance when they die. The characters feel like normal people, so you still feel a bit bad for them, especially the kids. But let's be real, we are watching this to see people get gruesomely killed, so very few of us actually care about the side characters. However, some scenes are done pretty well and may even be a bit emotional. Before Sienna's aunt dies, she doesn't blame Sienna and tells her she loves her. That, along with their heartfelt conversation about Sienna's mom earlier, made me feel pretty bad for Sienna. It's like she lost her mom twice. I also like Gabby quite a lot, and the child actor did a great job. It's clever to make her nosy, which actually becomes useful in the end. Early in the film, they establish that Gabby is Snoopy, opens her present before Christmas, and even wraps it back up herself. She then reads Sienna's diary behind her back. All of this comes into play during the final fight. Sienna brings her sword into the house, disguising it as a gift, and Gabby secretly opens it. Because she read Sienna's diary, she knows that it's the sword used to kill Art. Later, when Vicky is about to kill her, she pretends that the box with the sword is her gift to Sienna, which is pretty smart for a little girl. And because she wrapped it back up herself, that makes it even more believable that it's a gift from her. For a gore-focused horror film, that is some clever writing. We get to know more about Gabby, and it's even useful in the end. As for Sienna's brother Jonathan, I felt a bit confused as to why they became estranged at first. I thought after what happened, they'd be closer. Besides, Jonathan was the one who believed in all of the supernatural stuff, but he changed completely in Terrifier 3. It's pretty sad that after everything that happened, the two drifted apart. But I guess it's understandable. Sienna has been away most of the time, getting in and out of hospitals, and it's been 5 years. Maybe Jonathan convinced himself that it's over. There's no such thing as supernatural. Still, it's sad that he's killed off screen and Sienna doesn't even get to see him one last time. At first, I was a bit unsure about killing the only other survivor of the last movie off screen, but I understand why they did it. It's to make us question whether or not the skinless head is Gabby. I don't think it's that hard to guess that it's Jonathan, so it's not really a twist to me. Then again, I don't really want to see Jonathan, the only other survivor of Terrifier 2, get brutally murdered and skinned, so maybe it's better that way. Lastly, let's talk about the most important thing in a Terrifier movie, which is, of course, the gore and Art the Clown. The gore is still amazing in Terrifier 3, and even after 3 movies, they still find creative ways to kill people in the most gruesome way possible. Art uses a chainsaw this time, always a great choice, and his final fight with Sienna of chainsaw versus sword is so epic. I also love Art's new weapon, liquid nitrogen. After he made the liquid nitrogen tank, I was like, "Aw, he's got a new toy. Good for you, Art." The movie also pays homage to iconic horror movies like Here's Johnny from The Shining and the shower scene from Psycho. However, because of how many gory murder scenes there are in this movie, there doesn't seem to be an outstanding centerpiece. For Terrifier, there's the girl hanging upside down and getting cut in half. For Terrifier 2, there's the bedroom scene of Art brutally torturing a girl, but I don't think Terrifier 3 has one kill that stands out the most. The opening scene of Art murdering a random family with an axe is nice and simple. It's a really intense cold opening and gets straight to the point. There's also the bar scene of Art killing Santa, where Art dresses up as Santa and uses liquid nitrogen to torture him. That scene is really fun and the most Christmas in my opinion. There's the shower scene where Art kills 2 people in the most bloody way with a chainsaw. He freaking cuts a guy in half from his ass. It's really sick and twisted. There's also Art hammering a tube down Sienna's aunt's throat and forcing rats into her before slicing her neck open. There are so many great gory scenes in Terrifier 3, but none of them feels like the defining kill. Maybe because there's so much, you eventually become numb to it. Don't get me wrong, it's still great, I still love it, but it's just not as impactful as the aforementioned scenes from the first 2 movies. However, I do have a favorite kill, and it's the Santa from the bar. Art is just so happy to meet Santa, and it's amazing to see him put on the Santa costume and brutally kill the guy. Art looks like he's having the most fun during that scene, and I love that he uses liquid nitrogen on Santa. After all, Santa should be able to withstand the cold. I was smiling ear to ear during that scene because seeing Art so happy makes me happy too. David Howard Thornton is still amazing as Art, and I like possessed Vicky quite a lot too. While Art feels like a kid in some way, Vicky is just pure sinister and even authoritative. She has such a strong presence, which is not easy to do when you're right next to a creepy clown like Art. I also love the vintage vibe of Terrifier 3. It fits in well with the Christmas setting and feels like an 80s, 90s horror, even if it's present day. That's basically my thoughts on Terrifier 3. If you're a horror fan who loves gore, you'll love it. And you can tell the people behind this film love horror too. Tom Savini, a legend in special effect makeup, even has a cameo in this movie. It's hard to say whether or not 3 is better than 2 because it's still more impressive what 2 did with a budget of $250,000. However, 3 definitely feels more refined, and you can tell they put the $2 million budget to good use. Besides, $2 million is still low compared to mainstream Hollywood movies. It's amazing to see a niche independent film doing well at the box office. It really shows that audiences can tell if a movie is made out of love and it matters to us. Hope you guys like my review and nails. This is Art Christmas Virgin. As always, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, comment, share, do what you want. Follow me on other social media if you like. Links are in the description. Keep nailing it and remember to wash your dishes like art, people.